Did you know there's a Disney movie that condones animal testing? There is, and let me tell you a story about it. Minutemen is a movie my sister has been asking me to cover for years, and I just never did. And when she finally peer pressured me into watching the movie, good lord, we had a field day with it. Minutemen, to put into a quick summary, is a Disney Channel movie where a 14-year-old invents a literal time machine device that can go 48 hours in the past, but they can only stay in there for 10 minutes. Otherwise, they explode. That's a real line in this movie. Now, this is the second Disney movie that Jason Dolley stars in that is filmed at one school. For instance, I covered the other movie filmed at the school Read It and Weep, but there's also other movies that shot here, like High School Musical. This movie also features Nicholas Braun in one of his earliest roles. And may I say, he has one of the craziest known for categories on IMDb ever. His roles most known for being Succession and Sky High. But enough preamble, let's watch Minutemen, a movie that is way better than I thought it would be.
Editing Tony here to interrupt real quick. Thank you for 20,000 subscribers. I spent a full year on that Corey in the House video and it absolutely exploded, which I was not expecting. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I was at 8,000 subscribers when that video dropped and now I'm at like 21K. I might actually become rated at some point, guys. Anyways, enough of editing Tony. I'll pass it back to camera Tony, who did not record this in January. You cannot prove that I did. And I also totally know that I hit this milestone. Okay, bye.
The movie starts off with Jason Dolley's character, Virgil, getting off the bus with his best friend for now, Derek. They're talking about how high school is going to be crazy. They're going to be hugely popular. They're going to get all the girls. They're going to live, laugh, love.
Virgil, this is serious. You better not embarrass me. I never try to embarrass you.
This is foreshadowing to not even 2 minutes later. This style of editing is prevalent through the entire film where they just randomly speed up footage.
A little boom.
And it is hilarious each time. We also see that Derek is absolutely garbage at throwing.
Okay, that's enough for today.
So it's been a normal first day of high school so far, but because it's a Disney movie, that's gonna change. And I remind you, this kid who's driving it is currently 9 years old.
This kid in our class is like 9 years old. They skip him a bunch of grades because he's supposed to be some kind of genius.
A real Einstein. Get off of my field!
Get off of my field! This man is yelling at a 9-year-old. So Derek finally throws an accurate shot, which hits Charlie. And of course, you know, the entire football team ransacks this literal 9-year-old. So Virgil goes in and tries to tell them to give him a break because, you know, he's 9. And they just immediately bully Virgil too. Derek does nothing. And I know what you're thinking. Why hasn't the coach stepped in at all or said like, all right, that's enough, or done literally anything? Well, all the adults in this movie are literal psychopaths. You want to know why I know that? Because the photo of the yearbook has been this photo 3 years running. 3 years later, this might be one of the biggest time jumps in a Disney movie. Also, one of my favorite things about this movie is that the quality of Charlie's mic the entire movie is significantly worse than everyone else's.
Motion modulator actually allows me to understand what Albert Feinstein is trying to communicate with his various meows.
Charlie, I'm thrilled that you talked to your cat.
So important to note is that because Virgil stood up for Charlie, Virgil is not popular and is no longer close with Derek and is kind of close with Stephanie, but not really. Oh yeah, Stephanie is his love interest, by the way, because she is girl. We also get a quick glimpse into how insane Charlie is.
Your inventions always work. I can only act so surprised every time you figure out how to power your house with tartar sauce.
It's cocktail sauce.
I love how that's just a little detail that we just never bring up ever again. He powered his house off cocktail sauce. Oh yeah, how are we gonna get introduced to Nicholas Braun's character? Through this insane cut.
Or both.
Hey, you can't ride that thing on the...
Scary things.
Oh my god, it's the guy from Sky High. Okay, by the way, this is the same lunchroom as Read It and Weep and that one scene in High School Musical. But something that sets this movie apart from those other ones is that there's a shulker box in this one.
Content of pudding actually makes you grow taller.
It does.
Yeah.
Why?
I do enjoy the stimulating conversation. Hey, none taken.
I would not be surprised if the casting call for Chester's character literally said discount Urkel. You know that one episode where he had that Urkel cool potion? That's like that.
How did it come to this?
Maybe your plight has something to do with being stripped, dressed in miniskirts, and hung from the school mascot?
And had a picture of me at the cover of the yearbook. 3 years in a row. And was on all the local news stations. And the Spanish channel.
I know I just made a video on Corey in the House's political landscape, but one day I will make a video about the insanity that is the public political landscape of the Disney Cinematic Universe, because the news has been bullying these two kids for 3 years, including the Spanish channel. My favorite thing about this movie is that it's rated G and a DCOM, yet the writing is actually kind of insane.
Yes. The incident I will one day be explaining to a very expensive therapist.
This is one of the many asides that Jason has that feel like, is the writer okay?
Excuse me.
Mr. Tuttle, I believe you are here for your booster chip.
Charlie cannot catch a break, and this also proves my claim that all the adults are psychopaths. It's like that movie Mom and Dad, but they don't kill their kids, they just mentally torment them. I love depictions of the future in Disney Channel movies because they have such primitive views of it. The kid literally makes a time travel device that goes 48 hours backwards, and to make the visuals for it, it looks like he Googled trippy GIF. So of course Virgil's like, that's not possible, you couldn't make something like that. Besides the fact that we get to know Jeanette a little bit more in this scene, and Virgil is arguing with Charlie about it, there's not really too much to get from this scene, besides the fact that meringue is one of the most difficult desserts to make, and they're making high schoolers do it. Proving my hypothesis once again that every adult is insane and hates kids. Also, I just have to briefly bring up the soundtrack because...
With this or not, are you gonna be part of something? Make history.
Are there warthog sound effects in this? Once again, these cuts are absolutely insane and I love them. Also, Zeke has a blowtorch aimed at them. So Nicholas Braun's character Zeke has been on screen for a couple minutes now and has not spoken once until now.
Your cat is freaking me out.
Those are literally the first words of dialogue he speaks 14 minutes in. So through this scene, they add Zeke to the team where Zeke welds the time machine while Charlie is the brains and Jason is Pogger. Jason kind of is the DJ Khaled of this operation. He just shouts, Virgil! I don't think I'm gonna put her in the edit too much, but Virgil's little sister Amy is the worst.
Did mention you had a new friend over, a boy. Ew, he's gross. Jeez, Virgil, why can't you bring home cute boys?
Amy? Leave now or I'm telling mommy doing makeovers on the hamsters again.
And this is also proof of the animal testing. So as they're building the time machine, they're all debating where to go first. And Virgil pitches that they should win the lottery.
Nice.
Absolutely not, Virgil. I refuse to agree to that.
Charlie is a square. I see why he's bullied. So they need a huge open space for the time machine. And Charlie remembers that they have a huge like underground bunker that is just under the school, by the way. It's like a fallout shelter, which they offhandedly mentioned. But to get that, they have to appeal to Vice Principal Token to get the basement of the school for their time machine. Whereas my sister referred to him the entire time we watched this movie, Evil Blippy.
Is that Chester in the vending machine?
Hey, fellas.
Do any of you have 4 quarters?
Also, this is more proof of the insane world they live in here.
Aren't you gonna do something? Like what? Change the way high school works?
Everything in this world has an order.
There are those who stuff others into vending machines and those who get stuffed into vending machines. It's just the way the system works.
Also important to note, the Vice Principal's handbook condones and encourages child bullying under the guise that it's just the way things are, which was a common phrase in Nazi Germany. I can't wait for all the lines from this video to be taken out of context. So they successfully barter for room 77. That's the room they wanted, by the way, which is under the football field and was originally a fallout shelter. They also will be called the Minutemen because that is how much time they will have left to live with all the asbestos filling up in their lungs. But that's okay. We get a building montage. Those hit him directly in the skull. How is he alive? So the time travel device works and they all try to get out of being the first person to go in there.
Who wants to go first? I just ate a meatball sandwich.
So what do they resort to? They resort to animal testing. There was no hesitation or concern. I mean, look at this next scene.
Okay.
Oh no, kitty.
He just yeeted the cat.
Where's Albert Feinstein?
Also, may I mention when Zeke is bringing the cat back to reality, he pulls Albert Feinstein back with the softest yank I've ever seen in my entire life.
What? Whoa.
And that soft yank brought the cat back from another timeline.
843.
844.
That's what made differential. Damn it!
Your cat is the first time traveler in history.
I will say because of this, if this video blows up at all, there is a 1%, not 0%, 1% chance of PETA revolting against this movie, just cause. So now that they've time traveled for the first time ever, we cut back to Stephanie and Derek having an argument because Derek is definitely cheating and Derek knows just what to say.
Come on, Steph. I mean, Jocelyn's hot, but she's a total bottom.
He only dates tops. Also, I've kind of briefly mentioned it, but oh my God, the sound effects in this movie and just the sound mixing is incredible. What are these demonic ass whispers? What the fuck? But it's okay. Virgil and Stephanie have a little bit of a heart-to-heart.
Derek really did try to stop those football players, but you know how seniors are. Anyway, I know he feels really bad about what happened that day. You know, they say that people who don't let go of the past die faster and get more acne.
This is the best Disney movie ever. So they go back in the past to use the winning lottery numbers. And them time traveling proves that 2008 Disney VFX is unparalleled. This scream is nuts. So they made it back to the past.
I am currently hitting the gritty.
And because they're too young, they try to get the mime outside to buy a lottery ticket for them. The mime steals the winning lottery ticket from the children.
New lottery ticket. But this time, we be sure
No, Virgil, it's wrong. It's cheating.
Oh, you pussy. There's a reason you're bullied. Oh, it's wrong. Yeah, Disney, it's wrong to cheat on the lottery. But guess what's also wrong? You made $82.7 billion last year, but we need to resent the guys trying to make it the max of $1 million off of the lottery? I see right through this transparent bullshit. So the main part of this scene is that Chester comes out of the shower and his clothes have been taken and doesn't say anything, even though Virgil and Charlie, his friends, are 2 feet away. So I still feel bad, but also at the same time, your friends were literally right there and talking out loud. But it leads to this scene.
Hey, Chester. Looking for these? Hey! Give me those!
If you're trying out a new look, Chester, let me be the first to say it's not working.
Evil Blippi doesn't do anything. This is just proving that every adult in this movie is evil. I love how in this scene, there's already a wanted poster for the Minutemen, meaning that time travel has already wrecked with their timeline. And it's not just a prop error. But because of this event, they realized that they could use their power to go back in time in the precious minutes that kids embarrass themselves in high school and prevent that from happening. And I'll tell you what, there is no world where he needs to stand like this. And as they're preparing to go back in time and save Chester, Jeanette sneaks into the time travel room because someone has to stay behind to do something. I don't know. They don't really explain it. They just go, oh yeah, she's a Minuteman now. But this leads to one of the greatest exchanges in this movie.
I know it. No.
Think about it.
No.
I do. No hitting. No.
Shut the fuck up. We have to be quiet. She can fucking hear us. Shut the fuck up. But because of Jeanette, we have a makeover scene that's just one cut.
There you go. That's better.
And now they're wearing snowsuits. And then they go back in time to save Chester.
Hold it right there, friend.
Naked Urkel versus Snowmen. Who do you have winning? Anyways, the essay case against Chester fails because the Minutemen gave him new drip. And this new drip is so cool to these high schoolers that it completely changes his social standing. Everyone loves Chester now. Go to hell, Blippi. In case the time theme wasn't apparent, there's a Burger Time restaurant with at least 38 clocks on the wall. I tried counting and then they kept panning and I gave up. Now that they saved Chester, they have to save another dork. Their words, not mine.
Here you go.
Nice one, Dork.
This felt like a crime, so I had to fact check. According to Workers' Comp, because she obscured the slippery when wet sign, Eugene von Hoserberg is well within his legal rights to sue this monster known as Jocelyn, who was in Jack and Jill. So who's the real dork now? That is no slight to the actor. That is a slight to Jocelyn. Anyways, the Minutemen go back in time and save Jocelyn from the wrath of Kevin Kurgis. And the Minutemen are really getting on Evil Blippi's nerves. This is the hardest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Corbin Bleu makes an appearance in the soundtrack, just proving that everyone on Disney needed a singing career. So the Minutemen, referred to as the Snowsuit Guys, are being followed by the FBI now. You know, because they're time traveling or whatever. I'd also just like to point out that this movie is just Read and Weep, but with superheroes, because everyone they save turns into a dick.
One attitude, check out Chester.
Am I a trendsetter? You tell me, amigo. I mean, who else are these kids supposed to look up to set trends? Those doorknobs?
I love how the two outcomes of Chester are either he gets saved by the Minutemen and becomes an actual asshole, or the Minutemen don't save him and he goes to therapy for the rest of his life for having his dick and balls exposed to everyone. It's also referenced later that he has nudity issues, so oh my god, that is irreparable damage to the human mind. He is at least going to therapy.
Okay, well, there's something I haven't told you about the time travel formula.
It was hack.
It gets worse. I stole it from NASA.
You robbed NASA?
This movie's getting at least a B on the enjoyment scale. I like this line a lot.
Don't use the machine for a while and lay low.
Drop to grave.
I like that one.
We are the Minutemen, not the Weenie Men.
I did not edit that music in, by the way. Also, I haven't had a good moment to say it yet, but Zeke is definitely Disney's version of a stoner, and I love him very much. Oh yeah, by the way, the Minutemen go back in past to save Stephanie from breaking her leg at cheerleading practice. And may I remind you, the entire school and the FBI is out to get the Minutemen now, so I just gotta say, the visual jokes in this movie are top notch. That is not a fast vehicle, but yet the visual of like two cops just running behind them so slowly is so funny to me. And we also learn a little bit later that Robot Man sues an old lady from the car crash, even though it's completely evil Blippi's fault. But the Minutemen save her, and Virgil accidentally kind of gives away his identity to Stephanie by saying, "Get out."
Get out.
I don't know why. But my favorite part about this is that evil Blippy is desperately trying to catch them, and he falls for so long before you go, oh my God, there's a ditch. No, there isn't. He's standing on the other side. Anyways, because they are going through the time machine so much, they are changing the outcome of events that they didn't plan on doing. For instance, Robot Man suing the old lady from earlier. And Charlie's getting really freaked out about this and saying we need to stop. But Virgil's like, nah, man, let's continue. Which leads to this amazing exchange.
Oh, that's a world gone mad! Mad, I tell you!
Global warming. He's really freaked out.
The writing in this movie is great. Anyways, the Minutemen go to the state championship where Derek is playing because at every football game, one kid embarrasses themselves beyond belief. And as there's 6 seconds left in the game and they have to score to win, Chester runs out in his underwear and is chanting, and I'm on Chester's side. Evil Blippy has literally been against Chester this entire movie. But anyways, they lose the football game because Chester was naked and Derek was enamored. And may I say, if he got distracted by this, his head wasn't in the game. He didn't want it. So because of this, Stephanie immediately rats out to Derek that Virgil is one of the Minutemen. So Derek now all of a sudden likes Virgil again. I hate Derek. Derek makes a plea to Virgil about their friendship. And because of that, Virgil agrees to help stop Chester from interfering with the game. And honestly, I don't get why Virgil wants this so bad. Derek keeps implying that he doesn't really care about people like Charlie and Zeke unless they're necessary to him getting something.
I don't know what's gotten into all the dorks lately. It's like they just don't know their place anymore.
Not to mention, Derek keeps saying I tried to stop them in relation to the Charlie incident at the beginning of the movie, but also hasn't said anything to his football buddies in the past 3 years. Also, I brought it up like 30 seconds ago, but Steph immediately blabs to Derek about the time travel and Virgil being one of the Minutemen. Meanwhile, Jeanette hasn't blabbed to a soul. And while I don't like that he agrees, I kind of understand it because through this scene, we learn that Virgil has been trying to replicate his friendship with Derek because Virgil has tried to replicate their handshake with Charlie and Charlie keeps getting the word wrong, which is just depressing. But Virgil agrees to go back in time and prevent them from losing the game.
I can't believe you want to help Derek after what he did to you.
I'm a man, I'll admit, I have participated in the bullying of Charlie in this video, but he is very right here. Derek has literally given you nothing for 3 years. He abandoned you for popularity. Virgil, stop trying to live in the past, live in the future, or whatever the moral of this movie is. So they go back in time and save the game. What in the goddamn shit was that horror movie Scream doing there? It's like Jean Jacket from Nope, but Disney. So because Virgil saved Derek from embarrassment and had him win the game, Virgil gets invited to this huge party.
I haven't been to a party since I was 10. And I remember the pony threw up on me.
My horse girl sister immediately shouted out, "Horses can't throw up, that's how they die!" Maybe that's why Virgil needs a therapist. Virgil is partying with Derek next door, and I absolutely love this shot. Anyways, after that party, Stephanie caught Derek kissing Jocelyn, which is not surprising because he has been horrible at hiding his cheating. So she wants to break up with him, but I'm not really focused on that because during my second rewatch of this film, I kind of noticed something with my sister, is that I think there is genuinely one whole scene and 2 other shots that take place at night. The shot of Charlie seeing Virgil dancing, this hole forming, and the climax of the movie. Everything else is in the daytime. The championship game at noon. Stephanie breaking up with Derek at noon. They invented time travel at 9:44 a.m. The list goes on. So the FBI's on the Minutemen's ass. Also, this line exemplifies why I love Zeke.
You're kind of scary and unapproachable. Can we sit with you?
But the reason we get that line is because we are actually here for Virgil and Derek having a heart-to-heart. And by that, I mean Derek is trying to plead with Virgil for this reason.
I want you to go back in time to stop Stephanie from busting me with Jocelyn.
What? No! Derek sucks ass! I regret everything I said about Charlie earlier. I'm sorry, buddy. Also, I love how he's trying to be like, oh, Jocelyn kissed me. I didn't kiss her back. That's not cheating. But yet it's, I want you to stop Stephanie from catching me and Jocelyn. Not, I want you to stop Jocelyn from kissing me. Oh, what is it, buddy? I think you liked it. God, Derek sucks ass. So after Virgil says to Derek he'll think about it, he gets kidnapped by the FBI. Also, you're telling me that the FBI operates in a glass garage and has 40 copies of 3 different photos. Also, as the FBI agent is pressuring the Minutemen and bringing up the fact that NASA secrets have been stolen by Charlie. Charlie almost snitches on himself to the FBI because of that. And also Zeke stops him by just completely yanking him down. So they get let out on a technicality that Virgil points out and the Minutemen break up and Virgil agrees to help help Derek, which makes no sense for his character because he has a crush on Stephanie. Also, I'm so glad to say that there are officially consequences in a Disney movie involving the FBI. Anyways, Charlie has been hard at work trying to perfect the time machine because something is going wrong with it, which he reveals in this next scene.
I'm no scientist, but that doesn't look good.
Fuck me! The computer tinted itself red! That means it's evil now! Someone tinted green! So it's tinted red, but why?
We created a black hole!
They created a black hole in a Disney movie. This movie is so awesome. So Charlie runs back to the FBI's glass garage and breaks the news about the black hole.
So you already know about the black hole?
What?
The black hole! Oh, I knew you guys were under funded, but come on!
Dare I say that is the greatest line in a Disney movie ever written. Also, may I say, this is the first Disney Channel movie I've seen with real actual stakes. And all these stakes have occurred in the past 2 minutes. It went from, yo, we made a time machine. We should save the dorks. Oh man, the dorks are becoming assholes. We should fix that. The fucking world's ending! How on earth do they not see this? So Virgil and Stephanie win prom king and queen.
Come on, brother. It's time to go.
Oh, so Derek can cheat all he wants, but the moment Virgil's gonna get a kiss, he cock blocks him? Anyways, Virgil is really doubting whether or not he should actually go through with helping Derek. And oh my god, it took this scene to realize that Zeke is an actual mammoth. I learned because of this shot that he is 6'7" in real life, and the vice principal Blippi is 5'6". They actually framed around his height pretty well because Charlie is the youngest, so you just think, oh, he's just the older brother. It makes sense that he's the smallest, but oh my god. So forget all that. The black hole is now enlarging. Black holes and lightning may or may not correlate, but who gives a shit? This movie kicks all sorts of ass. Speaking of kicking ass, this scene goes unbelievably hard.
When you die, can I have your room?
I forgot if I put her in the edit, but why is his sister Amy here? There is no reasonable explanation that this little elementary schooler should be here. She's like 9. Oh my god, Zeke is towering over everyone.
Whatever happens in there, I want you to know. Hey man, good luck. With everything?
Fun fact, when I watched this movie for the first time, I audibly yelled out, oh, fuck you, Derek! I hate Derek. He's the worst character. He sucks ass. His actor did a great job playing him. Good job, buddy. Anyways, the Minutemen jump into the black hole and go back to the past, back to the first day of high school. And of course, the kids on the local playground are excited about this.
What planet did you come from? Did you come from Neptune? Do people from Neptune eat macaroni? I love macaroni. Is macaroni a vegetable?
Beat it, kid. We're working here.
Zeke is my favorite Disney character by a mile. Also, as they discover that it's the first day of high school, the Minecraft digging noise just plays. Now, because Virgil is back to the first day of school, when he became a dork with Charlie, he wants to go back and redo that mistake because he actually hates that day when he became a dork. But as Charlie's trying to get Virgil to back out of this, Charlie brings up that this day, the day that Virgil hates so much, is the day that they became friends. And this is an emotional scene with Virgil deciding between his old friends and his new friends. But there are some things that make this scene a little hard to get emotional over. For starters, that is a 55-year-old man playing a 9-year-old. Also, I love how the football player extras are just standing completely still in the background, and then they just move over to Charlie to make fun of him. Anyways, Charlie and Zeke leave Virgil up to decide, and Virgil finally realizes that Derek actually participated in the bullying. He didn't try to stop at all. Oh my god, what a shocker. It's almost like the signs have been there the entire movie. Anyways, when we cut back to the black hole because it's imploding in on itself or whatever, we see that all the kids have left.
Whoa, a black hole!
That is so cool.
I'm bored.
I'm also bored.
The portal back home is closing and they have run halfway across town in 20 minutes and back, but this one patch of grass is just too much for Charlie. Oh man, how are they gonna give back? Oh, I know how. The power of friendship. Anyways, as they make it back, the soundtrack sounds like it's from Wii Sports, and because they're making it back to the black hole, they need to have all sorts of car crashes. There is no need for any of this. Anyways, there's been this whole trope that Zeke brings this hook every time they go time traveling, and it's never been important until this scene. Lost the Minutemen. Anyways, the Minutemen make it back in time safely, which no one sees, but I'm just gonna assume it's the no snitching policy at this high school. Anyways, they end up back at the first day they ever time traveled. And in this ending scene, Virgil tells Derek off for being a cheater loser, and Stephanie does not hear it, imploring the Jake rule. Sorry guys, I time traveled. After my next video comes out, come back to this one and this joke will be so much funnier. Anyways, they're wrapping up everyone's plot lines. Charlie and Jeanette have been having like a romantic relationship bubbling, and I think they are a little too far in age, but it does give us this great line.
Wow, you look like a superhero. Thanks, Pumpkin.
You've never kissed her before. The scene in the hallway hasn't happened yet.
So Virgil tells Stephanie how he really feels about her, and she reciprocates, and it's cute. And then Charlie runs out of the library and yells about teleportation and to think about gas prices and global warming, and that's how the movie ends. Now, I don't care for unnecessary Disney sequels. I don't care for Disney live-action remakes. I think that sometimes rehashing the same story can get really stale. But I would be lying if I didn't say that Minutemen deserves a sequel starring the same actors playing the same roles 15 years later. Maybe you can do a thing where, like, oh no, they accidentally went 15 years into the future. I do not care that Jason Dolley no longer works for Disney. I do not care that Nicholas Braun is now a serious actor on Succession. I do not care that Charlie, I forgot his actor's name, is now buff. All I know is that I want a sequel where they explore teleportation. But also, fun fact, after watching Minutemen, we found out that there's an alternate ending. It was only on the CD and we couldn't find it when we were looking on the internet, but we did find this review that summarized it. The goofy sequence finds Charlie perfecting cloning to the disapproval of his fellow Minutemen. So if that's what the sequel is, go for it too. We also found a music video for the Corbin Blue song that was in this movie, and let me say, the music video slaps. So with all that, I am finally proud to say in a new video, and not put it there after the fact, that Minutemen is an S tier. It is so ridiculous in its plot, its world. The characters are all played so well. Practically every adult joke lands. The commentary it has on wanting to redo your past mistakes is actually really great. Zeke, he's a dickhead and polyamorous. Talk about representation. I just also love how ridiculous this movie is. And if for whatever reason, any of the Minutemen see this, or anyone else on the cast and crew, God, what I would do to have a Minutemen reunion, even if it's just for a scene, even if it's just for an interview. Jason Dolley, you're a Syonide alumni at this point. I would love to have you on the channel. I would love to interview you. I have a crisp $20 bill in my pocket. I'm not rich. That's the best I can do. Now, after all that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to help me in my quest to go from underrated to just rated. And while you're at it, don't forget to politely press that like button, as it's been obliterated too many times. There will be some videos that pop up by my head, because if you like this one, you'll certainly like those. Anyways, I got one more video in this Disney Renaissance that totally hasn't been stockpiled coming out soon. Anyways, please help Kevin with his essay. He's really struggling.
Time travel is so cool. If I could go back in time, I would go back to when I had my last bowl of mac and cheese. It was yummy.